Good morning. Hello, hello. I want to talk about soul work today. I want to talk about soul work in terms of planning a garden, the stage of dreaming into what will become a garden, and how that is our soul work. That is part of our soul work. When I started teaching online classes in, I'm trying to remember, 2009, I wanted to do things differently because I learned differently. I learned in a way that conventional learning styles don't typically, work with. And for me, giving prompts was basically the basis. Telling a story and then giving a prompt was the basis of the work, of the teaching, of the courses, of the circles. And what I didn't want was there to ever be the feeling of homework, of having to, you have to do this, or, you can't move forward if you haven't done this. I didn't want any of that. So I just started calling it soul work. This is our soul work. Now, over the years, I've sort of fine-tuned what that means to me and what that looks like to me. And there are a few ways to think about soul work. One can just be this infusion of the sacred into everyday moments, that is soul work. Every morning, when I sit down with my tea and my breakfast, no technology, looking out a window, I breathe in the steam. I just sit there and I breathe in the steam. It's too hot to drink, it's too hot to sip, so I just breathe in the steam. I warm my hands. And that is this moment that could just be a cup of tea that you forget about and let go cold. It's a moment of infusing the sacred into my presence, the tea, the water, the mug, the thoughts I might be having, the way it feels on my face. It's just an extreme moment of sacred presence. The other thing, and I think this is, both tie into planning a garden and dreaming into gardens, but really helps with the planning of a garden, is the alignment of who you want to be is soul work, trying to be in fullest integrity, trying to feel super aligned with the inside and the outside. Some people will say it's like bringing soul or spirit into the everyday. I like to think about, integrity. Who do I want to be? And are my choices, is the way I'm living lining up with that? Am I in that full integrity when I do this, or when I think about this, or when I, say that? And so soul work with planning a garden, if you think about those two things, it's pretty impossible to not be infused in the sacred, in the presence of that moment when you are planting a seed, when you're watching the shoots first come up. I mean, it's magical. It's magical. The metaphors run so deep. I teach a circle, an online circle, and I call it Sacred Roots. And the connection between planting, rooting down, our root chakra, feeling that safety, that just baseline safety, so that we can blossom, right? And then as far as integrity goes and alignment with who you want to be, when I first started thinking about growing our food, the majority of our food, as much as I could, I thought about what felt integral to me was eating seasonally. When I would be in the grocery store putting a piece of, whatever it was, like let's take strawberries, taking strawberries and buying them in December in a plastic container from California or wherever they came from, it didn't feel in alignment. Dogs barking. So when I'm going to plan my garden, I can say, well, what makes me feel in alignment? So I would like to grow certain things and make sure that the majority of our foods that the kids love, like some of them love strawberries, they love asparagus, that those things we can grow and eat seasonally just as they're meant to be. We're not meant to be eating strawberries all year long. The foods that grow in spring, those first like bitter greens, dark greens, cabbages, radishes, those are the foods that clear us out from winter, that like move all the gunk and yuck through us. They are the cleansing foods of spring, in contrast to those heavier root vegetables and often the proteins and the fats that we're consuming in winter to stay warm, to stay healthy, right? It all makes sense when you think about it and when you look at it. So I don't need to have strawberries all year long. I don't need to have asparagus all year long. And so that feels in alignment and integrity to me. When I ask the kids, like, what do you really want? What do you want in this garden? They say resounding, it's fruit. Most of them want fruit. And so that is what we're doing. We're planting an orchard. And this is taking years. This isn't just like, boom, we do this in one season. This is over the course, of time. I got bare root strawberry plants last year. We maybe got 2 strawberries. This year we should see a pretty good production. And I'm gonna bring more strawberry plants in because that's one of the foods that the kids say, we really want these. Now I can make strawberry jam, I can make strawberry fillings, I can freeze some strawberries, but we don't need to be eating them all year long. That feels in alignment with how I want to be eating for seasonal living, how I want to be honoring the seasons and honoring my body. What else did the kids say they want? It's mostly fruit. Ground cherries, they love ground cherries. Apples, pears, figs, we're getting all sorts of fruit. So your soul work in the garden, in this planning, dreaming phase, thinking about the amount of space that you have, where will you be planting, the time that you have, the resources that you have, really thinking about those moments that you're going to spend, just capturing that joy and that presence, planting things that you love, that you adore, that you're going to enjoy either seeing, planting for bees and butterflies and beauty, or that you're going to be enjoying through eating, preserving, sharing. So soul work really is the dreaming. It is the dreaming of the beauty of the alignment of how we want to be living, who we want to become. I remember, we were trying to get dragonflies in our garden, and we were doing all sorts of different things and planting and regenerative gardening. And one day I walked into the garden and there they were. They just appeared, and so many dragonflies. So what do you want to see? What do you believe in? What do you have faith in? If you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe, stay in touch, be in community together. Thumbs up helps a lot in getting some traction with these videos, and my favorite part is if you leave a comment and we can have a little chat. So we're just dreaming into the garden. What seeds will you plant? What will you grow? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.